Alright lads, welcome back to the final episode of Season 23 for the 13th Legion. So at the end of the last episode, I asked you guys, the viewers, what we should do with this warband. And the consensus was I would take it offline and we could start a new warband, and then I could then upload some of the major battles. And I am very appreciative for all the comments and all the feedback, but we have to address the Legends mod. So much so that the most common question I get asked when playing this is, have you heard of the Legends mod? And yes, I have. So the too long didn't read of this episode is that I think the next season should be a Legends mod playthrough. It's Grutenum. Okay, that has implications for the 13th Legion though. So this is modded with a bunch of other mods, and if I install a Legends mod, that's going to break my ability to play this one. And even if it didn't, I wouldn't want to have to keep uninstalling and reinstalling mod files when I want to jump into save files. So that means then I need to probably accept the fact that this is the end of the 13th. And there's not much more I'm able to do with these guys. Which, you know what, maybe that's not so bad. And here's why. So we've achieved a hell of a lot with the 13th, but one thing I haven't had to consider so far in the campaign is the implications of the backgrounds that you use with the peasant militia. And it hasn't been so much of an issue for the first 300 odd days, because that's when you have a real advantage. You have this numbers advantage, but now our power level is kind of tapering off, and what we really need is some of the higher level brothers. And we obviously can't get that with these lads. And I've kind of forgotten my point now. I think what I was getting to is that if I was going to get this group of lads all the way to the position where they can, quote unquote, farm those late game events, it's going to take so long. And even if I did it offline, it would just be a bummer for me to do. So 13th Legion, thanks lads, you've all been amazing, but I think this is the end for the 13th Legion. They've done plenty, and we've all enjoyed them. So that's season 23. Season 24 is going to be Legends mod. Now, I know nothing about the Legends mod. I've just briefly taken a look at the description of it, so I have a vague idea of what we're in for. So what that means then for season 24 is that there's going to be a lot of experimentation on my side. But I kind of hope that that might be entertaining to watch, because it's kind of going to take me back to my Battle Brothers roots, where I don't know very much about anything. And let me know what you guys think about what that means. Are you happy for us to just go Legends mod? Are you super disappointed to not see the 13th Legion anymore? Just give me some feedback, please. Let's finish up this fight here real quick. And then I want to actually open up the mods page for the Legends mod. We're kind of just enjoying this little last hurrah with the 13th. It's been so great having this amount of bodies on the field, and it's going to take a little bit of getting used to having only 12 lads. Now, I've been kind of theory crafting a little bit with what I want to do with my next warband already. But it occurred to me that once I'm playing Legends mod, any sort of theory crafting that I would have done now is just going to be completely irrelevant, because none of it's going to be useful for the Legends mod. But I think it's going to be good. It's going to be great. Okay, so one other thing that I need to address is my guide. I've mentioned about my comprehensive guide to Battle Brothers. I've got 2 weeks off in the first 2 weeks of September. I'm going to try very hard to have my guide done before then. But if not, that's disappointing. I'll just have to spend those 2 weeks doing the guide. If not, it'll be the Legends playthrough. But regardless, we'll basically just be taking next week off from playing Battle Brothers. But then week after next is the 2 weeks that I'm off, and I've got nothing else to do but stream. So I'm going to be doing probably 2 4-hour sessions every day. I'll probably do Battle Brothers in the morning and then Smite or something else in the evenings. let's wrap up this fight and then we'll look at the Legends mod. Boys. Lodorak, I think Lodorak, how long has he been around for? He's actually been, how many days has he been with us for? 364 days. Almost, he was purchased in the first week. We do also need to do some in memoriam examinations of our brothers. How amazing have these ninjas been, with these throwing weapons? Have been such a revelation. And I was just about to say that when it comes to my Legends playthrough, I'm absolutely going to build these throwing weapon lads, but I've got no idea whether it's even going to be a good build or not. Nice. Man, I love these two-handed maces. They're so good. And here is that hammer, the famous hammer. Infamous Rudolph's Mauler, a massive hammer that is surprisingly well balanced despite its huge weight. What it lacks in grace, it makes up for in raw force, as it is used to shatter even heavily armored enemy lines by knocking people away or to the ground. This is by far the very best weapon I've ever had in this game. I'm sure there are better weapons, but this is the best one I've ever found. I just love reading this description over and over again. Inflicts 218 to 305 damage to armor. That's fucking insanity. Incredible weapon. Okay, 13th Legion. Well played, boys. So, right till the end, Caber Beast has still been here. I thought about retiring him, but he survived for 356 days, took part in 237 battles, and killed 209 kills. And as a tank with only 74 accuracy, he's performed really well. I kept on thinking I would replace him, but he's remained relevant even 357 days in. And I especially liked giving a tank character X mastery. Whereas if we compare it to someone like George Warhammer, I mean, sure, the spear is great, it helps him hit more often. But a lot of times, giving the X mastery to a tank and just being able to shatter a shield has enabled other brothers that do more damage and have maybe done more. So overall, I quite liked a sword on a tank. I'm sorry, an axe on a tank. So nice for a Caber Beast. David Ironheart, he came in quite late, but he's been one of our better lads. I mean, look at that, 19 melee skill, 26 melee defense is a touch low. He's been around for how long? Only 162 days. Most powerful opponent he vanquished was a Shrat. Silius Sodus, he's another wonderful fighter. 308 days he's been with us. 219 kills. That's more kills than battles. Killed an ancient priest. Lelouch came in late as a replacement torturer. This was a valuable lesson for me. Never make a retired soldier a frontline lad. Just does not have the fatigue. I would have been way better off making him a polearm mastery guy on the back line. Sparrow 4, a shield breaker. He's been around for almost the entirety of the campaign, 346 days. His main usefulness was earlier on when using the Dane axe to break shields to enable other guys, but also another great fighter. Then we've got Ruskar, 2-hammer raider. He bravely got to wield infamous Rudolph's Mauler. Technically, I probably should have given that weapon here to David Ironheart with the extra accuracy, but great lad. 262 days, 181 kills, took down an Unhold. George Warhammer, also been around for ages, 372 days. That's our longest serving brother. Wow, we hired him on day 2. 372 days he's been with the company. George Warhammer, you fucking legend. 244 battles. And he's vanquished an Orc warrior. Well done, mate. Elandarion, the sergeant. 195 days, 73 kills. Not that many kills, but he fulfilled his function very, very well. His job was just to be there to, rally the troops and rally back some of the one side of the formation that's flagging. He did that admirably. Eric the Red, our other shield breaker, who ended up having more stars in range skill, so I had him do work with his crossbow, which I won't do again. I found that to be not that useful. 317 days, 101 kills. Most powerful vanquished was Bolvag Shrub. This Oaken Shield, a Gravedigger. Who would have thought a Gravedigger would be an archer? But it just shows you, when you're playing with this background, when you're playing with the peasants, you just got to take whatever you can that has range skill. We've had him for 180 days, 89 battles, 71 kills. Not surprising that his kills are so low, given how late he came online. I mean, he's maxed out and only has 85 range, but he's alright. Now, Sealand. 346 days, 270 kills. His most powerful opponent vanquished is Ug Shatup, which is the Orc Warlord. And even though I feel like giving him crossbow mastery was a mislevel, the crossbow mastery was great in the beginning, but ultimately, when I play again, I'm either going to have a dedicated archer like this, or I'm going to have a ninja, because even with the crossbow mastery, once I'm throwing at 2 squares range, you just do so much more damage with throwing mastery. But still, legit brother, glad to have him. So Tubrek came in late, 95 days, 35 kills. We didn't get to see the best of him, but he had a decent amount of potential. Lord Nasty came along, and look, even though he only has 81 range skill, the fact that he's primarily a ranged weapon thrower, you get plus 25 chance to hit. So at 2 squares it's plus 20, so that gives him 100 accuracy. And this build, this is the build now I'm going to be utilizing on my ninjas, my throwing weapon guys. He's got a crossbow there to shoot a bolt as the enemies approach, but then he quick hands to a heavy throwing axe. And these heavy Viking throwing axes with crippling strikes and executioner and killing frenzy, it's unparalleled damage for a ranged fighter. Rymar was the other dedicated archer. Chris Oakenshield and Rymar did their job, which is out shooting other enemy archers. But if I look at this build, I feel like I might actually compromise a little bit and switch out Executioner for Thrown Weapon Mastery, because then the archers then can be good against unarmored targets with a bow and armored targets with the throwing axes. Rim the Reaper, a torturer who came in late. We only saw him for 95 days. Decent potential, but he lost a finger. Loderak, our bannerman, been around for 364 days. 179 kills, not bad for a bannerman. And 120 resolve is okay, but again, when you're playing with the peasants, you just got to take whatever you can. The Daredevil, we never got to see much of him. Same for Hawk. And Horst also were new lads. We're almost done reviewing all the brothers. Of the lads that died, Creeper Jack, Criticoi, Trevor Belmont, all these lads deserve a shout out. I mean, everyone deserves a shout out, but Trevor Belmont, the Torturer, 306 days, 207 battles, 303 kills. He was the best that we had, and he died in the ice cave, so Ripperino. Okay, friends, that does it for the 13th Legion. Let's retire them. Trevor Belmont, VIP, without a question. Having built the 13th Legion to notable name recognition in the realms, the lords would bid against one another to vie for your services. Not only so you'd fight for them, but so they'd know at the very least they wouldn't have to fight against you. With the crowns rolling in and faith that the company would do well without you, it just seemed the proper time to put the sword away and retire to a life outside of war and killing. Unfortunately, such popularity comes at a cost. The company kept falling into wartime contracts, and over time, it's ground down. Brothers started to leave lest they become victim to the next nobleman who thought they knew best how to command the mercenaries. The former farmhand, Eric the Red, retired from the 13th Legion. The money he made was put toward purchasing a bit of land. He spent the rest of his days happily farming and starting a family. Way too many children. That's a nice end for Eric the Red. He'd been around for over 300 days. Caber Beast, the thief, read the lines being drawn on the sands and retired from the 13th Legion while he still could. He took what money he had made and threw together a crew of thieves and brigands. Last you heard, he pulled off a perfect heist, only for one of his partners to stab him in the back, take off with all the goods. Rip, Caber Beast. I was always quite nervous when hiring a thief because, you know, you have to defend them, but Caber Beast was an outstanding tank, and I will, without hesitation in future, hire Thieves if they have multiple stars in defense. I think they, in the lower values and the lower classes, I don't think you can do better than a Thief for a tank. But that's just business for mercenaries. Some make it, some don't. No company lives forever, and fewer yet will see so much as a line of mention in the history books. You plan to comfortably live out the rest of your days and hope those who survived their time in cell sorting do the same. RIP the 13th Legion. Well played, lads. 357 points is by far the most I've ever scored. Far and away my most successful warband, even surpassing the Warpigs, who were a legendary notable company. Right, so that wraps up Season 23. Now it is time just to do a quick little overview. Hang on, so I just need to cut down the screen here. Sorry, friends, one sec. Let's display capture. Right, so here's the description for the Legends mod and some of the things we can look forward to. Now, just a reminder that Season 24 will be a Legends mod playthrough. So, an overhaul mod that increases replayability and variety. Alternate starts, commanders, camping, world generation, art, effects, new enemies, new weapons, new skills, and AI changes. 21 scenarios to choose from. Powerful solo characters like Berserker, Crusader, Warlock, and Seer. Vanilla scenarios enhanced with new perks, equipment, backgrounds, and events. Starts have campaign-wide effects and many new mechanics. Random party option allows for infinite playthrough diversity. The company management is something I'm looking forward to. Extensive camping system with task assignments and upgrade paths. Up to 27 mercenaries on the field at one time. Save your troops into formations to prepare for different battles. That's going to be great. That I'm going to very much enjoy. Assign up to 27 people to reserves, but they are forced to fight if you're attacked. Look at this, 260 perks. Vanilla has less than 50. Man, this is so cool. Backgrounds contribute to camp tasks and world resources. Apprentices repair, caravan hands carry, etc. So cool. Non-combat specialists, donkeys, chefs, healer herbalists, taxidermists, nuns. Backgrounds affect movement speed over different terrain. That actually makes sense. That's a nice addition. Tryout when hiring now reveals turnstiles. That just folds in one of those other mods, which should be a base part of the game. It really should. Female specific backgrounds that are appropriate to the time with additional faces, bodies, names, events, and hairstyles. That's nice. I've always thought that there should be females, mercenaries in the game. That particularly is cool because it opens up the Valkyrie roleplay where you can have ladies only. Enemy mercenary. Every mercenary can level up to level 99 with new perk points every 5 levels. That's amazing. New weapons, glaives, sword staves, saws, chains, scythes, shovels, cat o' nine tails, orc weapons, and more. Power shields, parrying daggers, aggressive bucklers, craftable legendaries, rune stones, and then legendary versions of enemies, powerful new enemies like hulking orc behemoths. It's going to be amazing. Okay, friends. Yeah, Season 24 is going to be a Legends mod playthrough. I think what I want to have is zero experience whatsoever with the Legends mod when I start Season 24. I want to go in completely ice cold and just be like plunging into a frozen river. Just what is going on? What is this stuff? How does this work? What are these skills? And then you guys can just learn with me, because I assume some of you might not be familiar with the Legends mod either. We can just decide on the fly what background to go to, what tactics to go through. It's going to be interesting to see the experience that I do have and how, if at all, that translates into the Legends mod. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, friends, so that does it for the Season 23 wrap-up and Season 24 theory crafting. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of August. Let's see, I've got the 22nd. So I've got the rest of this week and the whole of next week. Then the week after that, I have my 2 weeks off. in those 2 weeks off, I want to be playing the Legends mod, but I do still want to have my guide to Battle Brothers be finished. So I'm going to do my best to have my guide finished by the end of August. Although, if I have to, I might have to delay the start of the Legends playthrough. But all things going as they should. Let's see, Monday, September the 2nd. Or actually, it might even be if I'm finished before. Okay, Monday, September 2nd. 11 a.m. CEST should be the start of Season 24 Legends mod playthrough. I hope you'll all join me. For those of you watching this on YouTube, if you haven't yet submitted your name to the name pool, head over to Discord. There's a name submission channel. And one last thing I got to cover, speaking of the names, I considered whether I would reset which names have been used. But if I just look at the name submission list here, we have a total of about 150 names submitted, and probably only 2/3 have been used so far. So in the interest of giving everybody a chance, and the people who haven't had a name submitted yet getting a chance to get in, I'm not going to reset the name list. So I'm sorry for those of you guys who are regular watchers and have already had characters, but let's get some fresh blood in. Let's get some new faces in. Let some new guys forge their own legends. You know, like Derpington, Dagrabert, Fluffy Bear, yeah, Alex Nestrov. He's a legend of many campaigns, but I really want to give as many people a chance as possible. Hope you'll all check it out, and yeah, see you guys then. Cheers, everyone.